Go for Tower Wars, free for all on Tower Wars.
Hey guys, welcome back. I am CCB Rise here with Elise Randolph, and we now have Castabouts versus Clockwork Pineapple. Some exciting stuff going on here. We have a flagship in this match. Tell us a little about what's on the field.
Yep, you guys didn't want too many drones, so Castabouts and Clockwork Pineapple kind of obliged. Castabouts did bring some Vexers and Ishkurs, but they also have a Vindy and a Geddon on the beacon at 0, and a few Incursuses for tackle, so this is going to be good. Meanwhile, Clockwork Pineapple brought even more blasters. They brought their flagship Geddon, 3 Astartes, some Heretics for anti-tackle, Crewer for tackle, just a single Griffin, because why not, and a Kestrel.
Should mention, it could be Rails. That looks like blasters, though.
Yeah, I think they're in your face Astartes, which is even cooler.
Yeah, absolutely.
The interesting thing is both these teams. I mean, Castabouts brought their battleships to the beacon at 0, as you can see, but the other teams brought their support in at 50. But because the angle they chose, they're right next to each other. Like they did not really expect to be this close to each other. As we see this Vindicator just charging balls outrageous.
And you can see neutralizers from the flagship Clockwork Pineapple Geddon heading over to both battleships on the Castabout side, and those damps doing work as well, coming out of, I don't even know what, the Astartes, I guess. There's not a lot of room for
the Ishkars
Kestrels, I guess, Kestrels too, but yeah. So far it looks like flagship Geddon is going to get its tank tested, but I imagine he'll be all right. We'll see how far away that Oneros is since it's under damp pressure, and some Frigs starting to take a lot of damage. Clockwork going for the support on the Castabout side.
Yeah, that's an interesting call by them. Both teams actually have a fair amount of control. Clockwork has it in the form of newts, it seems. Newts and dams. Castabouts, they have newts, but they're not as good as the Clockwork Pineapple newts because Clockwork Pineapple have their flagship Geddon. And right now he's just focusing on that Vindy. He wants that Vindy to have no cap whatsoever. And they're just slowly but surely chewing through these Incursuses. You didn't really... I mean, these Astartes, of course, will dunk these Incursuses through reps and everything, but you would assume this Vindicator would be able to do stuff once it gets a web on someone. It's got a web maybe on the Onerios right now.
Yeah, it could be. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it looks like a super web on that Onerios.
It looks so, and there's a lot of other ships there too. It took quite a while, but those Ashimus did finally close and get their neutralizers going on the Oneros. I don't know, so far really nothing too important breaking. Both sides losing a little bit of Frig support. Looks like Castabouts just having a hard time getting their damage anywhere. See if they can take down this Oneros. That would of course be a really big kill. And now some damage starting to go towards Castabouts onto some of their cruisers. Still anyone's match right now.
Yeah, Castabouts making absolutely the right call, going for this Clockwork Pineapple Oneros. The longer this match goes on, the worse Castabouts will be in, or worse position Castabouts will be in because of these newts. In a long drawn-out match, these newts really, really are bad for you. But Castabouts, I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're killing this Oneros. He's entering structure. He's about to die. He's gone. Now they can kill pretty much anything on the field that they get close to. And all this Vindicator has to do is hope he's got cap charges. But at the same time, Castabouts lost their Oneros too. So okay.
Wow, went down so fast.
Yeah,
or was I not paying attention? It
I
seemed
think
like
we
he
just were kind of
disappeared.
snoozing at the wheel here.
That actually, no, yeah. I thought maybe boundary violation. Actually, I just wanted to check, but no, he just went down really quick. Astartes must have just caught up to him. Wish I could go back and look. Vexer going down for Castabouts now without, of course, both sides now without logistics should start losing stuff a lot faster. There's Astarte on the Clockwork Pineapple side going down pretty quick. I wonder why they were shooting at the Clockwork Pineapple Geddon originally and why they decided to switch. Maybe just a range thing, but
yeah, it was probably just to see
for them.
that maybe they could like get a really good shots in on him with the Logi being damped, but the Logi was able to rep him. Right now, they're just slugging it out right now, and Astarte is dying for Castabouts, but a Vexer went down for Castabouts. They have some tackle left alive of these Ishkars, but the Ishkars are now kind of tackled. It's a bloodbath out here.
It's still pretty close right now, but it has to be a really good sign for Clockwork Pineapple that their flagship Geddon has newts on both battleships on the castabout side, but you don't see any neutralizers. Just now, neutralizers getting active on an Astarte on the Clockwork Pineapple side, but it seems like the flagship Geddon is kind of winning this cap war at the moment, and that's of course really good news for them.
Yeah, the Clockwork dams are actually being incredibly effective. These this Vindicator and Geddon, they're not be able to do that much or as much as they want to do.
Another Vexor down on castabout side. Losing damage hurts them a lot. I mean, they still have the Vindy, but the Vindy is a ship that really gets abused by having his cap.
Yeah, you can kite the Vindy.
On it.
You can kite the Vindy and the Geddon to some extent. The Geddon's got drones, but
saying that though, Vindy is now closed on this Astarte, and he's going down pretty fast now. The Vindy and the Geddon are both right there on top of him. See how far they have to go to get to that third Astarte. Yeah,
Clockwork's not making the best of trades. They traded an Astarte for half of an Ashimu. Probably want to step up their game a little bit.
The last Clockwork Pineapple Astarte is actually basically just bailed. He's he's really far away. Those do look like rails actually, now that I look at it. So maybe that's why. But he's quite a ways off. So it's going to take a little time for this Vindy and Geddon to get caught up to him. But if those
yeah, this is a
look at my
loser's
chart,
bracket.
Find out if they're rails for sure.
But they are battling for the pride of Syndicate. Both these teams live in Syndicate. And it looks like, man, I don't know, this Clockwork is going after this Vindicator, I guess. Trying to test its tank.
I mean, they're also like kind of shooting both Ashimus. It's funny, people, well, I guess it's not as relevant for this match, but we've had several matches now where there's the match is spread all over the field and there's kind of mini fights going on all over the place. You see Heretics taking damage too. They lost one already. We might have missed that, but actually it'll be really important as well if they can get these Kestrels down. That'll take a lot of the damp pressure.
Yeah, these Iskers are actually these Iskers are just kind of going out to these Kestrels and this Heretic and just murdering the support wing.
Wow, yeah,
Heretics down, Kestrel down. There's only one Kestrel left.
Nice job by the Ishkers there. Castabout's looking pretty strong right now. They went, it seemed like just a minute ago they kind of looked like they were in control, but things fell apart really quick.
These Ishkers are doing a real good work, and Clockwork kind of just didn't really pay much attention to them. At the end of the match is when your tackle frigates and your tackle wing is really crucial. Clockwork are losing their final Astarte. It's going to be down pretty soon.
Lost an Ashimu though.
They did trade it for an Ashimu, but I mean, when you only have 2 DPS ships, trading it for an Ashimu, probably not what you want.
No, definitely not. It's a really interesting match. The Ashimus is kind of a new thing. We haven't seen tons of those, maybe one here and there, but just so much cap war on this castabout side. It almost seems like their plan is kind of use cap war to clear a way for the Vindicator to just run around and kill everything. It's strange how it looked like it wasn't working, how the dams were kind of punishing them too much, and then suddenly they flipped things around. There goes the last Astarte. So now basically just that flagship Geddon left on the Clockwork Pineapple side, and I assume they'll have no problem taking him out.
Castabouts are going to do it. They get to plant their flag in the only named solar system in Syndicate. And yeah, this Geddon, I mean, they're going to have to catch up to him. They're going to have to use injectors and stuff. Maybe the Vindicator's going to look for some cap charges in some of these wrecks. But he's eventually going to die. We've got 3 minutes. Like, he can't run forever.
Yeah, he definitely will. If you're not familiar with the flagship rules, you guys are just tuning in. We have a lot of restrictions about which modules are actually allowed in the tournament. For the most part, just Tech 2, up to Tech 2 when it comes to meta level on the ships. In this tournament, you can have one flagship, which can fit a whole range of much more powerful modules, officer modules and faction modules. But if you lose that ship, you cannot bring another one. So that doesn't matter for most of these teams because it is a loser's bracket match. So the team actually just goes out anyway, dropping jet cans for some reason. Yeah,
well, they got to make space for the loot. Because this can might have some shiny loot in it. Another cool thing about the flagship is you can circumvent bans with it. So if they, if Castabouts had banned out the Geddon, Clockwork could be like, YOLO, I'm bringing my Geddon anyway. But not anymore. They're not going to bring anything ever again until next year.
And then they just have to go and catch up with this Kestrel, and that will, be a win for them. Really nice job. It's fun to see the Vindicator win. It's also, I was going to say earlier, the anti-drone thing is funny. I feel like people, they really like the idea of guns, but the drone matches are actually really interesting, especially as we moved away from sentries, and this year have a lot more of the mobile drones. It seems like the match, the field has just opened up a lot more, rather than everybody crashing into each other early on. There's a lot of strategy and how the team spreads out, and I think that's actually
is very important.
Really fun to watch, even though it doesn't maybe feel quite as nice as like autocannons all the time does.
Yeah.
Not that I don't hate drones. I do hate drones, but I just, you know, it's been a nice thing that's developed out of the drone meta in the tournament.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hatred. So, just waiting for Duck Slayer to finally die. He's probably just he's way off on his own. Castabouts are just kind of taking this time to loot the field, make sure nothing really good dropped.
Can take the opportunity also to let you guys know, if you didn't tune in for the last 2 weekends, this is the 3rd weekend of 4, by the way, and one other kind of new rule thing we have going on this year for the first time is we have micro jump drive beacons placed in a cube in the arena. So we've had a lot of funny boundary violations already as people try to move themselves across and get aligned a little incorrectly.
I am personally grateful for the micro jump beacons because they did save PL in their last match.
They're really cool. But anyway, match is over. Congratulations, Castabouts. We'll go back to the studio and see you guys in a minute.
You want to stay up to date on the market? You spend most of your time blowing stuff up, but you want to know why clicks are so damn high? Then watch EVE Talk, your weekly look at the market in EVE Online. EVE Talk with me, the Lone Wolf, every Saturday, only on YouTube.
Have sort of a poisonous leadership. Poisonous leadership. Poisonous leadership. Poisonous leadership. Poisonous leadership.
Welcome back to the studio. I'm CCP Gargant, joined here by Apophthegms, Squeeples, and Bacchanalian. And I'd like to say that YOLO indeed, and now Clockwork Pineapple no longer.
No.
No longer with us.
I feel like we cursed them. 3 of us chose Grun and 1 of us did not. And
No, you're just bad at predicting.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for my Castabouts friends that they made it through the tournament. And it seems that we're sort of looking at when the core drone ships are banned, we're sort of looking at people, instead of just bringing something that has drones, they're bringing like other setups with other themes that do other things. I like that. I like that a lot.
I do like that as well.
Yeah.
And we didn't see a Tinker.
Yeah, that was a pleasant
I
surprise.
don't get to hear you whine about it.
He still can.
One of the things we see a lot, I think, is my favorite thing in the game, which is like a big Galente heavy like blaster in your face setups. They're always really, really fun to watch. You know, you don't just kind of have a match where both sides Lodgy are holding, they're trying to switch targets, and it can be very kind of boring to look at sometimes. Whereas when you have these big Galente, Vindi, Astarte setups, like each team mashes into each other, ships are dying all over the place, and it's a massive, massive bloodbath.
Pour a waterfall of damage.
Yeah. It's a crucial amount of damage even.
Crucial amount.
I think my favorite ship there was the Ashmu. I think that's a really interesting pick. It's worth noting that the Ashmu, now that it's been rebalanced some months ago, or fairly recently, but it has infinite NOS properties now. So even if that Armageddon wanted to limit their effectiveness by capping them out, they could NOS from the Armageddon all day long. And while that probably wouldn't pressure the Armageddon too much, it's just an interesting mechanic that both sides really relied on heavy nuke pressure. And I think even though the Armageddon was a flagship for Clockwork, I think the Geddon plus 2 Ashmu combo for Castabouts was like the perfect choice in that match.
Yeah. They obviously learned from Roque Capel, who liked their cat
Obviously.
warfare setups.
Really?
Obviously, they're taking notes. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good strategy.
Best way to learn.
Right? But yeah, it's like the old school NOS from back in the day when that's how they worked, and it was way overpowered.
Back in the days of NOS dummies, and we're happy to be done with those. But
But let's move on to the next match to talk about the bans, at least. So we have to keep this.
Yeah.
Have to keep this going. The Devil's Warrior Alliance versus Quebec United Legions is next, and the Devil's Warrior Alliance banned out the Eos and the Ishtar, and the Quebec United Legions banned out the Oneros. Are you listening, Elise? And Rattlesnake. Yeah. So now we have a spot for Helas open.
well, the great thing if you're Quebec is that you don't really care about bans because they seem to just pick a random hodgepodge of ships to bring in. They're very kitchen sink friendly. They're very fun to watch. But they had Macarials and a host of shiny frigate support in the last match. So I think they probably have some unconventional metas based on what they've done. Devil's Warriors, I'm surprised they didn't go with more armor stuff earlier. I expected them to be an armor group. But they did fly Gilas, and those were banned in this match? No, maybe, yes?
No, they were not.
Okay, well, they might fly Gilas again. They actually did it pretty successfully. They did lose, but yeah.
Well, I'm going to be the odd man out who's going to be right this time. I'm going to get to be smug next time. I'm going with Quebec United Legions. I want to see the Flagfoon. It didn't die.
No, it lived.
It was the only one that lived.
Right,
Oh.
so the Flagfoon, Typhoons, this is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Bring out the big guns.
I'm going to ruin his lone man out scenario.
Killing
And
it.
I'm also going to pick Quebec because win or lose,
I don't
am
think
excited
you can
about.
change like that. I see Devil's Warriors underlined. You
Well,
even
the
posted
line,
it to Twitter.
the line doesn't mean that's who I'm choosing. It's a complex system. We don't have time to explain it.
On-the-fly adjustments are allowed.
Right. Yes.
There are no rules about that.
Right.
I won't disqualify you, I promise.
You're ruining the superstition and my shot at being right.
Apotny?
Yeah, I mean, like Back said, I really want to see another Foon team. As I said before, Foon team is my favorite. I think the Devil's Warrior Alliance is a team that brings interesting setups. Like they make some interesting choices, just like in the support wing sometimes, and I'm really interested to see what they bring.
Yeah, I'm going with the Devil's Warrior Alliance as well because I bet on Quebec the first round and they failed me then. You only fail me once.
For the last time.
But I'm looking forward to seeing some Gilas on the field because there probably will be. If there won't be, I'll be very, very. I'll look really stupid, but I want to echo Rice's words that we're seeing mobile drones this tournament, and that makes a lot of difference when you see people burning around to try to get away from drones, sort of somehow, I don't know, tanking or kiting them in some way. The little
Typhoons, maybe they're going to run. Nanofoons, perhaps.
Old school. Yeah. That would probably not work, but yeah.
The smart bomb foons, those are popular in Rancer, aren't they? The Typhoon.
I don't know. I don't go to Rancer.
No. You've never been potted
No,
Rancer.
I take my haulers full of Plex
I did some
elsewhere.
nanofoons before the warp speed changes, and then the warp speed changes happened, and I stopped running
Right.
battleship.
That's true. I used to fly, Nano Tempest, Macarials.
Well,
Nano Panther even.
You must all remember that there are two things to win in this tournament. It's victory itself and our respect. And you don't win our respect by doing something predictable and boring.
Yeah, that is
right.
So nanofoons.
right.
It's all about the style points.
Yeah.
That's why we're not going to respect drones or tankers and anything else.
You're not going to respect Tinkers, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
So, like I said, I'm really interested to see what the setups are going to be. This is going to be
Yeah,
fantastic.
Quebec is always exciting. That's the great thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to be boring, even if it's a complete wash. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
No,
Quebec is exciting, sometimes cold though.
all the boring matches happened on the first day when teams didn't know what they were doing, but everybody's an expert
Yes.
Right.
Everyone has gone pro on this one.
Well, to some extent, I mean, they get to see the meta, right? You get to watch all the matches. You get to watch the good, better, whatever teams you want to say, and what they're bringing, and watch the way they're piloting. So, it's got you're joking, but in reality, it does help the teams along. They may not have the practice and the setups, but the setups tend to improve as the tournament goes on. So,
Well, I just got word that the match is ready, so we are bang on time in getting this back together. But I think we'll just send it over to Rice and Elise in the commentator corner.
guys, welcome back to the Alliance Tournament. Have a look at that awesome pizza sheet in front of you. About to do some serious work here in the Devil's Warrior Alliance versus Quebec United Legions. I'm CCB Rise here with Elise Randolph. A lot of fun stuff to tell you in this match. First of all, in the last match, we saw Armageddon flagship die. It did have 5 officer newts, running up a bill of about 12 billion ISK. And we may get a little more of that in this match because we have the Typhoon flagship for Quebec United Legions.
Yep, you guys wanted some interesting stuff, and you got it. So Quebec might not be going for a traditional win, but they will definitely win respect. They've got a Bargus Typhoon core with some core axes, a missile kite team, versus Devil's Warrior Alliance, and a more traditional Sleipnir Claymore Gila comp with some worms and mollusks as support. They both came in at 50, but they were actually very close to each other again on the warp in. So you see Devil's Warrior Alliancers right now charging, zerging into the Quebec United Legions team, and Quebec are they're just trying to blap down a Gila. Just a whole bunch of missile kiting along.
It's actually really interesting. The Scimitar is taking quite a bit of damage as well, even though the target painters are on one of the Gilas. So kind of weird spreading damage out already. The Scimitar for Quebec United Legion just got webbed. That's bad news. We'll have to see where this is going. There is quite a bit of damage coming into the Devil's Warrior team. So I really, really want these Bargus to win. They're going to get the first kill. They're going to take down this Gila.
Yeah, Gila down, and that's a lot of DPS gone for the Devil's Warrior Alliances. They've caught the Quebec United Legion Scimitar, but they're not doing too much. Okay, now it's sort of dying horribly right now. But at the same time, Quebec are shooting, I guess, the Scimitar? Oh, no, they're just going straight for another Gila based on where the painters are.
Oh, Scimitar going really low. He just took a whole bunch of damage.
And he's gone.
Out he goes. So now 1-for-1. Logi getting lost on the Quebec United Legion side. That's bad news. The flagship Typhoon getting tackled immediately is also bad news.
Yeah, he was kind of a little bit too close to that Simi because the Simi did have damps on it. Let's see. It looks like Quebec United Legion are just trying to kill off some of these tackle. Body shock in the worm.
Kestrel just went down. Worm, that's, I guess, yeah, they want to go for the long game kiting here and just take out the tackle so that they're less vulnerable in those kiting battleships. But that's going to take some time. They were able to take Worm out. That's good. I mean, it's a good sign they were able to do it that quickly. But
the worms like the Ishkar are really nice because they can apply their damage and from quite far away because their damage is all drone based. It's not a huge amount, but it's still a good amount. Devil's Warrior Alliances are now focusing right on the Quebec United Legion's Typhoon flagship.
Another Gila taking a whole lot of damage.
Yeah,
Quebec
wow.
returning a lot of damage here. They've taken out 2 of the mollusks as well. Just lost both their Kestrels. That's
this
not
Typhoon
good.
is melting fast, though.
Yeah, he's got the Claymore and Scimitar right on top of him now, along with the Gila drones, and he's going down quick. He is boosting, of course, has an ASB, but it doesn't matter. Down he goes.
Morale flagship down. The only flagfoon of the tournament, and it's gone forever.
Gila going into armor, though. They are going to take him out to get another kill there. That's pretty good. They could potentially get themselves in a kind of end match here where they're able to do a lot of kiting with the 2 Bargas.
Yeah, exactly. If they can like just escape and just keep kiting, and they might be able to pull this one out. But I don't know. Quebec United Legions got a little bit lucky in some of their other matches, and right now one of their Bargus is sort of eating it. He's got a bit of an active tank going on.
He's not tackled, which is a really good sign. If he's like the Typhoons, he should have... Whoa. Why did my lock break? He didn't... I don't know. Thought he boundary violated, but he didn't. That's good. Now one of the Bargus is webbed. That's definitely very bad news.
Yeah, but this it looks like the Merlin's doing the webbing, and maybe... Oh, another Bargus is taking a lot of damage, the webbed one. And this...
and now damage going back onto the Devil's Warrior team is slowing down a lot. You can see them still trying to chip away at the frigates to keep themselves clear of tackle, but you see right here Claymore sitting right on top of that first Bargast, and so he's not going anywhere. Taking out the tackle isn't going to do them any good. I'm a little surprised. I mean, maybe it's just the core axes and the flycatcher, and that's fine. I can't tell what the Bargast are actually shooting at, but putting so much energy into killing those tackle ships really cost them as they trade Typhoons and Bargasts back. But
it could have just been the Corax and Flycatcher, which are really, really good anti-tackle platforms. The missiles really shred through the tackle. They got the mollusks down in short order, and but right now this is not the trade Quebec United Legion want.
No, Bargast
they
number
have
one
one
down.
Bargast against pretty much the world, and now that they left the Scimitar until the end, they have no hope of breaking anything except for the Scimitar. Quebec United Legion actually do have a good amount of damps, and they're spreading them out pretty effectively, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think your best bet is probably just to throw them all on the Scimitar right now and just try and kill something.
It could be, but also the Scimitar isn't like he has no incentive to not be right on top of his buddies. Like he can go anywhere in the arena, and he's equally exposed to the damage coming from the Quebec team. So it doesn't hurt him at all to follow them around really close. And you can see he's able to rep. He has reps active on his entire team right now, despite those damps. So
he's actually trying to loot the Vulture Wreck. It seems like this Scimitar. He's right next to it.
There's no Vulture Wreck.
Well,
there's
gonna be a Vulture Wreck.
I see.
Like he wants all the loot, so he's hanging right next to the Vulture. Quebec United Legion losing their Vulture, but they also have their final Barghest webbed. He was quite far away from everything, but he ended up getting caught by this one worm. And well,
now the bigger ships caught up, the command ships as well. You can see going to take him out. I think are these the first Barghest we've seen?
They are. We've seen some Orthrus. We've seen some Garmers, but this is the only time we've seen a Barghest. I have a strange feeling this might be the only time we will see the Barghest. Quebec United Legion's clearly having fun with this thing. They brought Macarials in a really fun setup last time. Then they had 3 Foons that won in glorious fashion against Choke Point in the first match. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have to wait till next year to see what other zany things they can bring.
Potentially a really expensive match here for Quebec United Legions, depending on how that Typhoon is fit. Those Barghests aren't cheap either. They're looking at losing, I mean, 4 or 5 bill or something just in the ships they brought to the match.
Yeah,
maybe,
I mean, you
maybe
don't choose a flag Foon just to get around bans. Like you want to put some cool stuff on it.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever going to ban a Foon, but.
Anyway, last Barghest did go down. They're going to start chipping away at this Vulture that they stopped shooting earlier. When they switched to the Barghest, he should go down pretty quick, and then it'll just be some of the support. How come people are bringing, we've seen already today, I know the question came up some last couple weeks, what Flycatchers and Heretics. We've seen a lot of them, which strikes some folks as strange because, of course, there's no warp disrupting in the tournament, no need for bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're very cheap on points, and you get a lot of slots for those points. And they go pretty fast. And especially the Flycatcher and Heretic, they're very, very good at killing like these small frigate wings. And small frigate wings do actually win championships. So like they're very vital to deal with.
But Quebec pretty much out of stuff now. Almost only that one Flycatcher left. They just caught up to one of the Coraxes. Pretty nice fight here. I am sad Quebec United Legions is going to be leaving us. This is one of the most fun setups we've seen just in terms of silliness. And
it looks like Nelly might be trying to make a break for the arena edge. I'm not sure. He's going pretty fast.
Nelly.
Nelly and the Flycatcher.
QC Brawley got caught and went down. Too bad for him. Just the one Flycatcher
Yeah, this
left.
is it. So Quebec United Legions eliminated. Devil's Warrior Alliance move on. But, I mean, Quebec United Legions may be losing the match, but they definitely won the respect. They've got the,
until
the flag Foon and the Barghest.
Yeah, exactly. Until we see some more Barghests or... this is the only flag Foon in the tournament, is that right?
Yep,
yeah,
the only one. I think the only one that's ever.
It'll be hard for someone else to live up to it. What are the most popular flagships in the tournament this year? What are people
people really
using?
like Balgorns and Geddons. I think those are the most popular among some of the top tier teams. Rattlesnakes are also very popular because they have so much utility. There actually were a few Vindicators, which were throwbacks to sort of last year's Alliance tournament. Again, if you can throw like a Tobias Webb on a Vindicator, it's got a super web at 50 kilometers. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems people are going for the Geddon Balgorn sort of thing. So much utility, so much new pressure. The way the micro jump beacons work is since there's like a cube of 100-kilometer blinks, you can almost always be in newt range if you're in a flag Balgorn and a flag Geddon.
Yeah, that's true. That it does help those Cat warships, which can be kited. They're usually very slow. Both Balgorn and Geddon have a hard time actually moving around the arena. So